Hi guys, I'm Dr. Jenny White, a dentist in Sarasota, Florida, and her fearless patient Susan with our podcast, Open Wide, Unfiltered Opinions between a dentist and her patient. Over the past 25 years or so, I've been sitting in a little room talking to myself all day, and I've gained a lot of wisdom through that process, which I want to share with you. We hope our podcast casts optimism and fearlessness to you so you can rise to the top, stay at the top, and dream bigger than you've ever imagined. So for today's soup du jour, I have a question for everyone. Would you like to live a longer, healthier, and sharp brain kind of life and live in one of the healthiest places on the earth? We would like to introduce you to the Blue Zones, Secrets for Living Longer, Lessons from the Healthiest Places on Earth. Author and amazing human, Dan Buettner. Yes, he said, and he wrote a book about the Blue Zones. He also has a 4-part special on Netflix, which we all should check out. But I just think this is a beautiful topic, Susan, because as you know, I want to live to 128. I'm not sure what your number is.
88.
Okay, we got 88, we got 128, we got, a lot in between. But these are the areas on the planet where, for whatever reason, reaching 100 is not a big deal. So we don't need test tubes. We don't need Petri dishes. We don't need Bunsen burners for this. We're going to use good old common sense and listen to what Dan discovered. I know everybody is dying for me to dive into the 6 places on the planet where we do live the longest, but let's talk about just some generalities that all these places have in common. Whole food, plant-based diets, moving naturally every 20 minutes or so, praying, napping, keeping your aging parents nearby, having great social support groups, and having a sense of purpose, knowing your ikigai, which is the Japanese concept of knowing your purpose to live a happy life. Those are basic premises for all of these places. Did you know, Susan, that the current life expectancy in the U.S. is 77 years old?
Only because I just read that. Yeah.
It seems so low to me.
And that's for women. Men is even younger.
Well, he said the current life expectancy for people in developed nations is about 93. Longer for women, shorter for men. Sorry, guys. But in the U.S., it's 77. So living in a blue zone allows you to avoid chronic diseases that foreshorten your lives, such as diabetes, cardiovascular disease, dementia, and certain types of cancers. Their health and longevity stemmed from their surroundings. And basically, we're talking about slowing down, long walks with a neighbor. The social support group is insanely important. Having family dinners, not rushing them, doing more cooking at home, gardening, and being close to your family. What say you, Susan, about the intro to the Blue Zones?
Well, I find it fascinating that there's only those zones that Dan has pointed out in his book that seem to be thriving. And I find that there should probably be some more. So for example, why isn't the Amish community a blue zone? They live a clean life. They don't drink alcohol. They farm. They have a huge community. Faith is important to them. So I'm not really sure why other communities aren't on this list. And then there's outliers too. Like the oldest person that ever lived was a woman by the name of Jean Calment. And she lived to be 122 in 164 days.
Wow.
When she was 100, she recorded an album. And I bought the album, believe it or not. She was French, and I used to spend a lot of time in France at the time. And it was a big thing in France that Jean Calment had this new album out. It was a crazy album because it was a lot of but anyway, she recorded it. And talk about, spirit for life. That girl really had it. So there's these outliers. You don't have to be in a blue zone, obviously, to live to be old with a gracious life. But yeah, it's curious to me that there are only those ones that Dan has pointed out. So yeah.
I really wonder now about the Amish. They should live a long time.
Don't you think? Yeah.
Well, and the other thing I was thinking of is why can't we we're in Sarasota, Florida. Why can't we turn Sarasota into a blue zone? Why can't we just start in our little neighborhoods with our little neighbors and just kind of get this going.
Well, you raised an interesting question that I'm just thinking about for the first time. Can you, in the middle of your life at late 60s, start to live the better life and become a blue zone? Or does it have to be a sustained way in which you think about your life sort of from the beginning? And if you use Jean Calment as an example, like here was a woman who was born to a wealthy family, so there wasn't a lot of stress about money. She had access to good foods and access to good medical her entire life. And she never worked, so there wasn't any stress. So I don't know whether you have to be in an Okinawan community in order to live that lifestyle, or whether you can start it in the middle of your life. It's a good question.
I want to say you can start it at any time.
Yeah.
It's like it's never too late to pick up pickleball or tennis
Yeah.
or gymnastics. I mean, well, maybe gymnastics, but I don't want to say that there's an age limit.
Yeah.
I don't want to put a limit on us reaching our potential.
Well, I think true to reach your potential, but if we're talking about living to be 100, which is what the blue zone theme or theory is, I don't know. I was curious. And I was also wondering, were there emerging blue zones? And it turns out Singapore is an emerging blue zone. And partly because the government there regulates a lot of the health of the Singaporeans. Singaporeans, is that who they are?
That sounds good. That sounds good.
And so they have access to a lot of government-driven health benefits.
Singapore is in everything.
Yeah.
The wealthiest, the healthiest,
it's
the
a pretty cool
longest,
city,
the
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's interesting to see what's emerging in addition to what we already know exists.
Well, and maybe Dan will he'll do some more research and come out with another book. I just think it's interesting that Dan's probably, I'm guessing, 50s, 60s, in the middle of his life.
Yeah.
He was like, where do people live the longest? And he just started researching it.
Yeah.
And here we are talking about the blue zones. Let's jump into the first one. Sardinia.
I've never been there. Have you been to? I've been to Italy, of course, but I've never been
You're asking me if I've been there.
Yeah.
I'm a West Virginian who's never been to Europe.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
I know it's okay. It's a little kidney-shaped island off the coast of Italy, north of Sicily. Viva Sicily, where my mother was from. In Sardinia, the elders live with their families. They all eat together. They help each other with chores. They eat well. They spend time with friends. And the elders actually provide love and childcare, financial help, and wisdom to the younger generations. Does that not make the most sense, or what?
Sounds great.
And then over 19% of Sardinians live to over the age of 90. And there's very little dementia in Sardinia, and reaching 100 is not a big deal. They also are isolated economically. Like that's not their major focus there. So they don't have the stress and the hustle and the drive and the push for that. A lot of traditional social values, and they eat a lot of homemade foods. I am guilty, Susan, because in America, fast-paced, grab and go, processed, sandwich here and there, restaurants. Restaurants don't use the best of whatever, to cook our stuff, or a lot of them don't. So, cooking at home, we need to do more of that. And I enjoy it when I do it.
Yeah, me too. But it's not often easy to do. And, when you're working, and I think a lot of these communities that we're going to talk about today have low stress because there's not a lot of high tension jobs. You know what I mean?
You're right.
Yours is a high tension job.
You're right.
For example. Yeah.
You're right. And all of a sudden, I couldn't imagine right now having my grandparents move in with me and my mother and father move in with me.
Yeah.
And, I've lived my life so long without it, to all of a sudden change it and get this like they're doing in Sardinia to make my life mimic that, be a little tricky.
It would be tricky now, I agree. But to our earlier point, if you live your life like that, where there's an expectation, in Japan, for example, the elders are very much revered and respected, and in a lot of Asian countries, it's true. Well, that's just, you wouldn't even think of putting your parents in a nursing home. It's your honor to take care of them. You know what I mean?
Yes, for sure. This was interesting too. In Sardinia, the gut microbiome of the 100-year-olds have the microbiome of a 60-year-old.
Oh, interesting.
From the diets that they eat.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a lot of fresh fruits, fresh vegetables. And they talk a lot in this book about these purple potatoes, the purple sweet potatoes,
Yeah.
which I'm dying to try.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you ever had
I've
one?
had one, and they taste like sweet potatoes, but they seem harder in their texture to me a little bit. Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
So, and of course, everybody's walking all over the place in Sardinia. So exercise is kind of built into their life. And this one I love. They drink a little wine every day.
We should move to Sardinia.
You book the ticket. I'll pack the bag.
Okay. You'll definitely be 128 there. I'm still sticking to 88, but only because, I would worry about like running out of money. I mean, but in these communities where the family's taking care of each other, that's not a worry, right? Because it doesn't matter.
How wonderful would it be to just take that off? Just like be like,
yeah,
no, don't worry.
Seriously. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we'll go there. But let's talk about all of these and then we'll decide which one we're going to go to. Number 2, Nicoya, Costa Rica. Costa Rica. I've been there. In Costa Rica, they have a strong sense of purpose. They drink hard water in Costa Rica, which gives them high calcium levels. They keep a focus on families and friends. Everyone lives together. They eat a lighter dinner. Eating fewer calories adds years to your life. They keep up with social visits. They find joy in their physical chores. This is interesting. So I'm trying, when I'm outside doing X, Y, or Z in the yard, I'm trying to find, rather than thinking of, okay, it's 3 o'clock, I've got to get this done by 3:30 and then get in the shower. But I'm trying to find joy while I'm doing the garden stuff.
Right.
I'm working on that.
Yeah. That's a tough one too, because my mind works the same way. Okay, I got a half hour to do this, then I got to do that. Then, yeah.
That's an American brain.
It's probably,
Probably a part of our problem. Cooking, caring for grandchildren. And they also believe in getting some sunshine each day, which increases your vitamin D. They recommend 15 minutes a day to keep stress levels down as well.
Yeah.
So get out into the sunshine.
Yeah.
I don't do that. Do you do that?
Well, it turns out I'm low in vitamin D. I'm like, how can I be low in vitamin D? I live in Florida, or I'm in the sun all the time. But so no, I don't make a concentrated effort to go out and like get the sunshine that I guess I need. So I take vitamin D instead. I could just go out the door, but no, I could take vitamin D.
Take the pill
by prescription. It's not even like over the counter. Yeah,
I know. I don't know. Okay, so far we've gone through 2, and my brain is saying to me, America is so like, take a pill for it. Let's put it in a box. You can just do that. Read a book, read a thing. Rather than do the thing, do the easy thing, like talk to somebody for 15, 20 minutes in your day, or enjoy your yard work, or go outside and get the sun, or enjoy a little glass of red wine every day at 5 o'clock or something like that. Oh, no, we're on a schedule. We got to go. We got to hustle. We got the hustle.
It's true. Yeah, that part's really true. And and so now that I think about it just right this minute, that's probably definitely lowering our average lifespan because it's just too much stress, too much hustle.
Yeah. And going into the holiday season right now, which we are approaching.
Please.
I mean, the amount of things and the stuff and the weekends, your weekends are full from now through January. Like, forget it.
Forget it. But, I do have a little bit of a hint. I keep my Christmas tree up year round. I'm not kidding you. It's up year round, and there's still presents underneath it from last year, which I got to open before this Christmas. But
do you do holidays on this tree? Do you have like the Easter things?
No,
and then
no, but because it's just one more thing you got to do, right?
I know.
And it's kind of a decorative tree. I mean, it would fit, even if it wasn't used as my Christmas tree, as a ornamental tree in my home. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not kidding.
That's a time saver.
Yeah, there you go.
Man, all right. I some years, Susan, I don't even put the tree up.
Yeah.
I just don't do it.
I
do the manger. I do the manger because it was my mother's
manger.
Yeah,
but not the tree.
I know I don't do the tree. I do, but I put the manger scene up because it was my mother's.
Oh, okay.
And I have to do that. Oh
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Yeah.
Moving on. Number 3, Loma Linda, California.
Yeah. It's the 7-day Adventists that live in Loma Linda, and they live a very I think, austere life. They Saturdays are sacred to those folks. That's their Sabbath. And they don't smoke, drink, or do any of the things that lower your lifespan. And so that doesn't surprise me at all. But to our earlier point, there's other communities that do that too, like the Amish, for example. So why aren't they on the list?
I'll write Dan. I'll shoot him an
Yeah.
email
Send
to
to
say,
Dan.
hey,
We've
Dan.
got questions. Tell me when I'm on the podcast. We've got questions.
Let's see here. So in Loma Linda, men live 7.3 years longer than men elsewhere. And vegetarian Loma Linda Adventists,
I think it's Adventist.
okay.
I don't know.
They live 9.5 years longer.
Oh,
So interesting. They watch their body mass index, which lowers their heart attack, stroke, blood pressure, diabetes, and arthritis, etc. They get moderate exercise regularly, low intensity.
yeah, that's important. You know, as I'm on the treadmill, like really like running, I have to remind myself that actually is bad for you, but low intensity walking is much better. Yeah.
Yep. Spending time again with like-minded friends, doing things like this podcast, Susan, snacking on nuts, giving back, helping others, avoiding meat. And they eat an early and light dinner. They have a little motto that says breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a pauper.
Oh.
And they drink plenty of water, 5 to 6 glasses a day. And that's right here in California. So it gives us hope.
Yeah.
It's not just faraway lands. It can be right here too. All right. Now we have an island off the coast of southeastern Greece, which is habituated by Greek nationals. Ikaria.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of Ikaria, the island? Okay. So since this island has very steep terrain, and I saw some pictures of this island and I was like, whoa, they are not kidding. Exercise is not a problem. I mean, just by getting up and going from any A to any B, you probably got your cardio in. They eat a lot of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans, and olive oil. They saute. They do not fry. They stock up on herbs and drink herbal teas to lower their blood pressure. I need to drink more herbal tea.
Yeah.
I've been cramming the coffee.
Yeah, me too. But teas are really good for you, especially black teas. Is it black teas?
Black, green, white, chamomile, matcha.
No, it's not green. It's. I think it's black. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, but I need to drink more tea.
Yeah.
I just like the fix of the coffee. They enjoy, and I love this because I am a napper. Do you like to take naps?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm good.
They
very
enjoy
good.
their.
I can do power naps. Yeah.
I love it. They enjoy an afternoon nap. 35% lower chance of dying from heart disease because they nap. And they fast occasionally. The Greek Orthodox calls for fasting. Cutting 30% of your calories slows your aging process. That's why they say to eat until you're 80% full, which is interesting. I try to do that when I remember that little phrase, but half the time I don't remember the phrase, so I don't do it. And then they make friends and family a priority. So just doing stuff with your friends and family, kind of common to all of these.
Yeah, social network is common to all of these, and having a purpose in life, but having a community that supports you is essential.
And as you always bring up in most podcasts that we do, volunteering. Volunteering gives you such a sense of connection.
Yeah, it does.
And helping,
it
giving
makes you
back.
have a purpose, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump to another island, Okinawa. Off the southernmost tip of Japan, they are 3 times more likely to reach the age of 100 than Americans. 3 times.
Right. Now that's lowering. I read recently that because of the tourism impact on Okinawa, that is not, that they might lose their blue zone status.
So you mean our McDonald's and our KFCs and our Taco Bells and our...
Well, that plus tourism visiting the island and raises the stress.
Wrecking it.
Wrecking it raises the stress level. Yeah.
I would be okay if they just stop tourism. Let them live. They've got it together over there. We need to get it together over here. Okay. I don't know. That's just me. They know their ikigai or their reason for being, and they can articulate it easily. like, why do they get up in the morning? I think I know why I get up in the morning. Do you know why you get up in the morning?
Well, I mean, I'm happy to get up in the morning. I'm like, oh, great. What am I doing today? Oh, wow, this sounds great. I mean, I'm not. I mean,
Oh
I
God, here
come
we
from
go.
life to life with kind of a joyful
Yeah.
way. So yeah, so I am always happy to get up in the morning.
And I want to see what's going on.
Yeah,
I'm happy to wake up, A,
yeah,
and I'm happy to get up,
yeah.
B,
Right.
and I'm just wanting to see what's happening.
Yeah.
Like,
And
let's
and the fact that we have all of our, faculties and the fact that we, are healthy, it's just not everybody gets to get up in the morning.
a lot
So
of people, like, they
there's
wake up
that
with chest
attitude.
pain, they wake
Yeah.
up with back pain, they wake up with, like, their health is being taken from them,
Yeah.
and we're not suffering from that, so we're
Right.
super lucky. All right, Okinawa, they eat a plant-based diet with tofu.
Mm.
They eat more soy, tofu, and miso as well. Almost all of them garden. And they build, this was so interesting to me. I don't know how this is possible for us to do, but I'm going to throw it out and maybe you have some ideas. A safety financial net that lends financial and emotional support in times of need
Ah,
to their tribe. So if
interesting.
somebody in your group is struggling financially or whatnot, the others support that
Yeah.
person.
See, that's essential. Yeah, that's essential to
That's
take
like
away
Mother
stress.
Teresa
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Uh, they get their time in the sunshine as well. And they sit on their, this was another interesting one. You know how the homes over there look sort of minimal, not a lot of furniture. They sit on the floor to eat their meals. And so their leg muscles getting up and down off the floor are
Right. And
insanely
their
strong.
balance is so good because of that too.
And they don't fall
Mm.
because of the balance, strong leg muscles. Over here, we're sitting in chairs all day. We don't squat all the way down and all the way up. So our muscles are not as what they should be, I guess. They plant kitchen herbs in their kitchens and eat them every day, which I thought that's something I want to do today. I want to go get some herbs, put the pots in the kitchen, do that and
Yeah.
eat that. And then they're very interested and they're very interesting people. So when you come along, they want to hear about you. They want to know about you. And if you ask them about them, they have an interesting history or life or goals or whatnot. I found that to be pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Oh.
Yeah. Last but not least is one you already mentioned, Singapore. It's a fourth of the size of Rhode Island. A fourth of the size of Rhode Island, Singapore.
Yeah.
Home to nearly
tiny.
6 million people.
Yeah.
74% are Chinese, the rest are Malay and Indian.
Right.
So I thought this was kind of interesting. And I don't know why, but I started thinking about New York City. They choose a safe neighborhood in a safe city to live in, free of graffiti, and they make it a point to know their neighbors at least 3 doors down on each side of their home.
Yeah.
So you have to look for a city with no graffiti.
Well, you get punished severely if you have graffiti in Singapore. I mean, it is largely a governmental state, right? So you don't buck the rules there, but there's some benefit to that. And you've just mentioned one.
Yeah.
You feel safe.
That's true. They live their values. They find their tribes, meaning church, family, sports. They have great camaraderie amongst each other. They look for an environment of trust. They want to trust their neighbors, their boss, their coworker. They also buy good health care to make sure that they're covered with insurance. And interestingly, they focus on financial success. They said the richer you get, the more satisfied you'll be.
Yeah. Some of the best banks in the world are in Singapore. So that's not surprising. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I'd add about that country too is that they really value green spaces and nature, and their airport. The second you get off the plane, you realize that their airport is just gorgeous and lush, and yeah, they really value nature and plants and waterfalls and things like that. Yeah.
So those are the 6 places. But like you said, I want to know about the Amish. I want to know about different.
So there is another country that's emerging, and that's Finland. Because Finland has a high happiness rate, first of all, like people mostly are satisfied living there. But did you know that saunas, particularly the Finnish sauna, which I guess differentiates between like the Swedish sauna. I don't know, but I guess all saunas are good, but particularly the Finnish sauna, the hotter the better, 175 degrees. You stay in it for 11 minutes or more, 3 times a week, significantly lowers cardiovascular disease.
I think all saunas, honestly, do that. I mean, especially the Finnish.
Yeah.
But the far infrared and the infrared, I just think sweating every day is the deal.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
And it lowers your heart situation.
Yeah. Yeah. So there is a sauna here in town called Perspire. Do you know about Perspire? It's a membership club, and you join and you can sit in the sauna, which I try to do at least once a week. I don't do it 3 times a week because that's ambitious for me with my schedule. But yeah, so it's supposed to be really good for you. So Finland is an emerging blue zone for a lot of reasons, including the Finnish sauna.
I love that. Yeah. And to think that it's one of the happiest places. We should do a show about the happiest places on earth.
Oh, great. Let's do that.
Right?
Yeah.
I love that idea. Yeah. All right. So I'm just going to take all these blue zones and kind of wrap this up, Susan.
Okay.
Because I know people are running to this and running to that, and life in America is busy, busy, busy. So here we go. You got to move naturally every day for a little bit. So dance, garden, jump up and down, whatever. Have a purpose. Downshift your stress. Eat until you're 80% full. Try to eat more plants, smoothies. I don't know if I told you this, Jessica's Farm up on DeSoto Road.
No, I never heard of it.
If you can go around the beginning of December, I get all my produce there, eggs there. They have cheeses. They have apple cider vinegar. It's a very crunchy place.
Okay.
But love it if you're into making up smoothies. I also get my eggs from a regenerative farm called Angel Acres, but that's my better half Tom says, stop doing that, Jenny, because the amount of waste to ship the eggs is really insane.
Oh.
But they move the crops around for the chickens. I know I'm going off on a tangent here. And it's supposed to be really good for the land and the birds and the animals and the eggs that are coming out.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, Angel Acres is where I get my eggs currently. Sorry, Tom. If I'm drinking, from what I've learned here, it should be high quality red wine at 5 p.m. moderately. We should practice our faith. We should love our family and friends. Susan, I love you.
I love you too, Dr. Jenny.
And make sure that I'm in the right tribe with the right people. You want to make sure that you're in the right
Social
tribe
network is
with
everything.
the right people.
It really is. You're right. Yep, you're right.
So all in all, I absolutely loved this show. I love my life. I love doing this podcast with you, Susan. I love what we give out to the world through our podcast. And I would just like to thank everybody for listening. Let's shoot for the stars with our lifespan. I'm going to 128. Susan's going to 88. And that is a Blue Zone Rice-A-Roni wrap. We thank you for listening and hope you enjoyed this podcast. If you did, please share this show with friends and family and subscribe to our YouTube channel. This way, you'll never miss weekly drops. Stay strong, dream big, and floss your teeth.